everyone, it's Eva, and for me and my girls, we decided to go as the PowerPuff Girls and Mojo Jojo. Of course, I'd be the one to choose Mojo Jojo. But anyways, this is the costume that I actually wore out on Halloween. If you guys want to see pictures, make sure you check out my Instagram, and let's just get started. To make this costume, the first thing you're going to need is a turtleneck dress. However, if you don't have one like me, we're just going to have to make one out of a men's turtleneck. To make the pattern, you're going to need a well-fitting top and or dress. I'm just using both a turtleneck and a dress since I had them both, and I'm just going to combine it to make the perfect pattern. Make sure your men's shirt is turned inside out, and then grab a piece of chalk and trace around it to make your pattern. Now that we've got our pattern, we've got to cut this out. Now make sure you do leave at least ½ inch because we will be gluing / sewing. Apparently I suck at filming and didn't actually end up filming this, but where my fingers line to the sides, that is exactly where you're going to be sewing. Now that we've got the armholes left, you're going to want to grab some fabric glue and then just put it along the edges and fold it over. Do the same thing all around and also to the other side as well. In the end should be sewed down and the arm seam should be glued down as well. Onto the hat, we're going to need a white beanie and we will be starting with some gray felt. Because we want the silver design on his hat to be symmetrical, I'm just folding the felt in half and then using chalk and tracing the design. With a pair of scissors, cut out the shape. Because my felt isn't long enough to wrap all the way around plus some excess, I'm just going to be grabbing the rest of the extra felt and just tracing out that rectangle. Onto the stripes, we're going to be using some purple felt. To make my life a lot easier, I'm attaching 2 pieces of purple felt and folding it in half. That way I get all my pieces to be the same shape and the same size. So all I'm doing is just cutting out 3 very loose half C's. They just need to be slightly curved. With the rest of the felt still folded in half, we're going to be needing 2 oval shapes, but just the outline. So cut out a big oval and then a small one within it. Now I'm just grabbing all my shapes that I cut out and aligning it on the hat to see if I liked the thickness or how it was placed. Unfortunately, I thought it was too thick, so I decided to go back and cut everything a lot thinner. Now we're going to make use of those purple scraps and we are going to be making some ovals for the gray portion of the hat. You're going to need 1 big oval and 6 smaller ones. Now glue 3 ovals onto the front of the crown or whatever you want to call this gray thing. Sew the big one in the middle and 2 smaller ones on the sides. I didn't want this to be a permanent thing on my beanie, so I'm just using some double-sided tape and sticking the lines onto it. With the gray strips that we cut out previously, I'm going to extend it slightly just so that we have a base to work with. Use double-sided tape to tape that onto the hat. Now as you can see with the longer strip with the purple circles on it, this is actually going to act like a fake Velcro so you can adjust the beanie to your head. Onto the last piece of this costume is a cape / skirt. I did not want to wear a cape, so I decided to make it into a skirt instead. You're just going to want to grab some purple felt and cut out an isosceles triangle that is longer lengthways. Next, you're going to want to glue it to one side of a waistband that fits perfectly around your waist or wherever you want the skirt to start. Now you're going to want some sheer purple fabric. Mine has a little sheen to it, but I thought that added to the character. However, you're just going to want to fold one side down, but make sure that the elastic will fit into it. I actually just pinned it in place just to make sewing a lot easier because we're going to be sewing a straight line down. Keep in mind if you want more ruffles for your skirt attachment, then you're going to want to make sure your fabric is a lot more longer horizontal wise. I wanted this to be a high-low skirts attachment, so I'm just cutting out a slight curve, and I'm just making it shorter at the front and longer at the back. Using a pencil to make our lives a lot easier, we're going to be using it to help thread the elastic through the seam that we made on the skirt. When you've pulled the elastic through, just glue gun the two ends together, and there we go. We have an attachment to put on top of our dress. Now if you want to amp up your costume even more, you can definitely find some white boots, socks, and gloves to add on to this costume. But if you just want to leave it as is, just take it, put it on, and take some awesome pictures. Thanks so much for watching this video. It's the last one of my Halloween 2014 series. If you liked it, make sure you give me a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for weekly videos. I'll see you all next week. Bye!